Do you know that person that you just saw sinning and doing something super horrible, and the person that you first thought like, oh my gosh, why would they be doing that? That was the wrong attitude. Do you know that you were shown that person's sin so that you could cover and pray for that person? So that perhaps you could gently correct the person and lead them to God's ways and God's truth? See, one of the things the Father will use you for is to intercede on the sinner's behalf, just like Yeshua intercedes on our behalf. See, humans tend to be self-righteously arrogant, and we forget the pit from which we were dug. Which is why Yeshua warns us, we will be judged with what measure we judge. So when we see somebody sin, and we say, okay, I understand this sin separates this person from the Father, so I'm going to love them enough to help them see the correct way and the correct path so that they can be right with the Father. That's what we're told to do, gently and lovingly rebuke a brother if we see him or her in sin. We are to help cover them. We are to intercede on their behalf and say, Father, forgive them, open their eyes to see. But what we are not to do is be like, oh my gosh, what a horrible person. We are not to say that they are not going to go to heaven. We are not to say that they're condemned. We literally, we're the same bad. Like that brown stuff in the toilet stinks the same from all of us. And so many times we forget, especially when we've overcome a sin, we forget what it was like to be in that sin. So we should be offering people a hand up out of that sin. Yes, rebuke them in love, in a spirit of humility and righteousness, unless we be tempted with the same sin. Remember it says that in the Bible? We were entrusted when we are shown other people's sins to help them overcome, to help them turn, to help them make it, not to condemn them. And spouses, I'm going to say this begins with us. Boy, we're the first and the meanest to each other. We criticize each other, we're critical, because we live day in and day out with each other. But when I see my husband's sin, I'm supposed to remember that love's not blind, but love is to cover, to gently encourage him to become the man God's made him to be or intended him to be, and to help him, not be a dripping faucet. A dripping faucet wears the person away. But a word of encouragement, a word of empowerment, that you can do this, you can overcome by the power of the Holy Spirit. What a different world if we all just did that and said, hey brother, hey sister, you got this. You don't have to be a slave of this sin anymore. Yeshua Jesus